Today when you hear gold dredge, you probably think of the smaller, suction-type ones on pontoons used seasonally by a couple of bros. In this video, we are going to check out the so-called mechanical dinosaurs of California's gold mining past. Many gold-bearing rivers were all but raked clean by these bad boys in the very early 1900s. Today, sprawling housing developments are being built on top of the vast gravel tailings left behind from these mega-machines of the past. We will look at that too. The hotspots for these gold gobblers were on the gold-bearing creeks and rivers, where they finally lost elevation coming out of the mountains, where all of the gravels piled up over centuries. A sort of treasure box. By the time the gold makes it to one of these gravel dumps, it has been banged around so much on its travels, it has become very small. They call it flour gold. To retrieve this flour gold, a ridiculous amount of this gravel must be sifted through, leaving behind rows and rows of what's called tailings made by the dredge. Dredging had been all the rage in the early 1900s in Northern California. But the environmentalists had decided to wage war on this method of mining as it pretty much destroyed habitats along the rivers, but it also churned up a lot of debris. Today there is only one dredge left intact that I personally know of, and it's at a site called Hamilton along the Yuba River in a dredge pond near a gravel mine. You can see it on Google Maps pretty clearly. Let's take a look at some photos from the archives of some of these old-timey mega-machines. This one is near Marysville along the Yuba River. Note how tall that gravel is in the background. And just for the record, most of these I am going to show you are the bucket line type dredges. Huge buckets that hold up to 3 cubic feet of gravel each are scooping away at these gravel beds. Once the gravel is scooped up, it travels inside the dredge to what's called a trommel, a rotating cylinder that separates the heavies from the leverites. Leverite meaning, lever right there. A rock with no value. In the extensively dredged area just south of Oroville, on the Feather River, the trees are just now starting to grow back and is now called the Oroville Wildlife Area, a protected nature zone after some of the most active dredging in the early 1900s. There was so much gravel churned up, they actually used it to build the Oroville Dam. Here is a photo of some workers. This was a dusty and noisy operation. These dudes are from the Yuba Manufacturing Company near Marysville. They not only made dredges, but they repaired them too. This company, from what I can tell, operated between 1904 and 1918. This one is from Wairika in 1915. Most likely in what is the Greenhorn Park area today. Again, note those very tall banks of gravel. These were pretty big and had to be built on the spot. Here is one being put together. This one is an old postcard. It says, one of the largest gold dredges in the world, near Oroville, California. At Natomas, near the confluence of the Sacramento River and the American River, this photo was taken of a dredge. Yes, I realize some of these old photos are not so clear, but they are over 100 years old. What do you expect? We are lucky to even have these. Some tailings can still be seen near Discovery Park, but most have been leveled out and built upon, and you would never know looking at that area today what went on. This one is at La Grange, along the Tuolumne River in 1976. This area was also extensively dredged for fine gold. There is a park here now. This seems to be the outcome of many of these dredging areas now. They become parks. These dredges either had a number like number 6 or a name. This one is named the Empire Dredge, and it operated from 1900 to 1920. This is the Indiana Dredge in 1901, operated near Oroville along the Feather River. And here is the Yantis, no, not Mantis, it's the Yantis, also near Oroville, operated from 1910 to 1919. Here is a couple more from the Oroville area, no names or numbers given in the archive. This one is on the American River near Fair Oaks in 1943. Sacramento Bar, Mississippi Bar, and Sailors Bar were extensively dredged for gold in this now entirely urban area just below Folsom Dam. Here's a dredge on the Yuba River that operated from 1911 to 1918. and the Marigold number 3 on the Yuba near Hamilton and Marigold, and the Yuba number 6 from the same area. This is Yuba number 9 and number 11, where they operated from 1907 to 1918. This is the Yuba number 13. I'm not sure how many dredges worked the Yuba gold fields, but it seems to have been one of the most active dredge spots in the early 1900s. Once an area had been decided upon, hand-drawn maps were made of prospective spots. Then as they progressed, they would add to their maps. Today a few of these old maps still exist and are very hard to make out, but I'll share them anyway. Eventually, I will take us to the Yuba gold fields, and the site of the town of Hamilton. I have been there before and think it is definitely worth sharing. So stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video, comment if you know some stuff about dredges, and be sure to subscribe for more of Northern California's amazing history. And as always, happy trails!